What's going on, guys? This is Keegan here with Punishers Paintball. I am here today with Doug, our media man, and today we are doing a ultimate pack review.
Punishers picks. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, let us know what you thought your pick would be.
Yeah.
If you thought we were wrong on any of our decisions, hit us up on social media at Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Pinterest.
That's a new one.
At Punishers Paintball. All right, guys, and we'll catch you after the intro. Alright guys, let's get into it. So we're going to start on this end here. This is kind of the lower end price range all the way up to the most expensive that we have here on the board. First up is my personal favorite, the GI Glide. I am a GI Glide user. I use the all black 5+, whereas this is the 4+ with the red accent. I think it looks nice enough, but the thing that I love about it is just that it's basic and it holds my pods for me. I have never lost a pod through that really. Everything's just where I need it to be to grab it. And it's consistent. The only thing that's really happened with it after, I guess, a year, maybe a year and a half or so of use, and I play tournament. I did a full X-Ball season this 2020 season. So the only thing that's really happened with it is this kind of tears off. But
yeah, I can see that happening.
When I play Snake, so I dive a lot. So as I'm just dragging this across the ground, just like.
Yeah.
But that's been my only real thing with it. I will say, I will give a nod to some other packs that it could get tighter around me, even though I'm kind of a thick boy. I've had some times where I'll dive into the Snake and then I start to crawl and this thing gets whipped all the way to one side and it's not quite on tight enough. But for the price point, I probably won't use much else until they stop making it. So
yeah, let me see it.
Go for it.
Yeah, so picking it up, I don't use one. I've never used one. I didn't put one on until earlier. The thing that I notice the most is being someone that's a lot skinnier is there's not a lot on the back and on the hip area, and so it's kind of digging in, and then there isn't a lot of flex this way. I will say, so it doesn't contour to my back arch as much as other packs do. Okay. Just because other packs that we'll talk about, they'll have that kind of cushion area that kind of extrudes out that kind of matched up with your arch.
Gotcha.
Versus this pack doesn't, but it is the cheapest pack on the list, coming in at $54.95. So
as far as budget things go, you're really not losing out on anything by getting this. You get everything that you need. You get secure Velcro that holds everything in. You get the plus these guys. I've never had one fall out or anything out of the in between tabs.
Yeah, one thing that I will note that I do really like about this is that on their extra tabs, it's not just a material and nothing else there like other packs. It actually has a hard piece that makes it so that you don't have to go fishing to try to get your fingers in between them. Yep. It's got an actual piece that prevents it from rolling onto each other. Yep. So overall, for the price point, I think that is a pretty nice pack.
For just under $55, this is I'm gonna drop it early. This is gonna be my Punisher's pick for the price point.
Oh.
So next up, we're gonna look at the HK Army Eject.
All right, guys. So the next pack on our list, the next cheapest pack is the HK Army Eject harness. This pack comes in at $59.95, so just about $5 more than the GI Glide pack. Personally, I've never actually used one of these. I tend to stick to strapless packs, but picking this up and feeling it, I actually put it on. My only complaint with it, putting it on, is that I actually couldn't even get it to stay on me because of the fact that the straps were so long that, me being skinnier, there was no Velcro to actually strap on. So I actually couldn't even put this pack on without it just falling off.
Yep. So it's a similar issue to what the Glide has, where kind of like I said, where it doesn't quite stretch and get as tight. Honestly, extremely similar, but one plus that I will give to this guy is the back pad here.
It does have that.
Does
back
feel
padding.
really nice. That support is good. That helps to eat up some of the space that's there.
So it does have that support there. It's a nicer foam. It's got kind of a rubber backing so it doesn't slide around, which I just noticed. It's just overall really long. Just the structural back on it, you can even just notice
That's also
by
a 5
looking
plus.
at it.
That's also a 5 plus.
Yeah, it's a 5 plus. It's our only 5 plus in this list. Well, actually, we have the Virtue Elite, but it's just a very long pack. Overall, for the extra $5, yeah, maybe.
Here's my thing.
Yeah,
here's why I would say no. So while you do get the added comfort of this kind of back pad, as far as the tabs go, first of all, they're puny. Like, yeah, they kind of come out some, but you are gonna have a really hard. Sure, it's good because it holds your pod really nicely, but you're gonna have a really hard time getting things in and out of there at first, at least for these outside ones. Plus, I've never been a fan of like the whole 2-strap little thing, because
I agree.
Like when we're in the pit, it's already hectic enough trying to shove pods into somebody's thing and help them out. If I have to go through 2 of those, not really crazy on that. Now, mind you, the rest of them are kind of regular, but it does not have that added security of that hard plastic tab. So
the one thing that I'm noticing now is that it kind of extends out. It has a bit of fabric, probably like an inch.
That's an inch.
Before it gets into the actual strap, which is kind of odd. Seems like it might dangle around, kind of swing around on you.
Yeah. Whereas it's a little more, it's closer to the rest of the pods here. So definitely something to consider. I would say if you were gonna determine a reason why you'd pay the $5 extra for this over the GI Glide, it's for the back pad.
Yeah, it would solely be for comfort. So that's the HK Army Eject coming in at $59.95.
And next up is the Virtue Elite. All right, cool. So Virtue Elite, this is going to be our first step into the next price point. This guy comes in at $74.95. Mind you, this is for the 5-pack as well. So as for me, the construction of this honestly feels a little flimsy with these guys. They're pretty loose, pretty relaxed. I feel like I could tear that really easily. I will say I do like how big the Velcro spot is on this bad boy. Like, that is definitely not going anywhere as far as letting your pod slide out or anything. Has the back pad, which kind of hard to show you guys, but I assure you, it has the back pad in here as well, just like the HK did.
The back pad is very similar to the HK Eject harness. So
what else you got, Keegan?
The big thing for me is that you have this little pouch here on the top where you can, it's big enough, it goes down the entire thing, that you can store your phone, your keys, your wallet, anything that you want to store in there, you can. My personal thoughts on this pack is that it would be a very good woods ball or scenario game pack if you had to carry one, because you do have a pouch that you can throw things, and it also is a bigger pack. And so honestly, I think that this would be a nice pack for big games and stuff like that you could have on the side, but not necessarily one that you would use for competitive speedball or anything of that sort.
And mind you, I've seen people do it, and all of it does come down to preference. So now here's my thing. It does seem like it gives you a little bit more leniency with how it'll wrap around you and the Velcro, so you could probably get this tighter to your tiny self, right? So there is a benefit there. However, I don't think this is worth the jump in $20.
I would agree with that.
I wouldn't say $75.
I would completely agree with that.
Price-wise, I think this should still be in the same range as our first 2 packs here. Not by any means a bad pack, but
you're not necessarily getting anything better other than the addition of a little pouch. So I completely agree with that.
So final impressions of this Virtue pack.
Final impressions, woods ball, big game scenario-wise is to have as a second pack. Totally, I think that that's a smart idea. As a competitive speedball pack, being that it is bulkier, I personally wouldn't use it in competition.
That's fair. I think I'm on board with that.
Yeah. So next up, Virtue Breakout pack. This is our first strapless pack on the list.
All right, so here we are with the Virtue Breakout pack, the first strapless of our lineup here. Take a look at it. So this has a really nice pad. You can see how thick that is right there. You can, like, that is some really good back support, which is awesome. Go ahead, Keegan. You look like you got a lot to say.
I do. So this pack is pretty much Virtue's version of the Bunker King Supreme pack. They no longer make the Supreme pack. They replace it with a pack that we have later on the list. But the Breakout pack is pretty much identical to it, down to it has the same padding that the Supreme pack had. and it has the same kind of straps that the Supreme Pack has. Personally, I currently use a Supreme Pack and I love it. The cushion is a very soft but also durable foam material that supports you very well. And overall, the pack feels very good. I've never had a problem with pods falling out or anything like that. And as for the argument of strapless versus strapped packs, I can see the argument for strapped packs, but at the same time, personally, it really comes down to personal opinion, and I like strap packs, or strapless packs, just due to the fact that when I'm laying down in the snake, it is easier for me to, it's one less thing for me to have to undo a strap and grab my pod. My only complaint with this pack is that the straps on it, while they do get very tight, is that being a skinnier person, they dig into my hip bones, since I have to wear it above my hip bones, or else it just will slide up on me because my jersey and stuff. But it digs into my hip bones, and I haven't really seen them get worn in to the point where they're not doing that quite as much. So I have seen a little bit of bruising on my hips due to the straps, but you can get it very tight and secure, and I have yet to have a problem of losing a pod or anything like that.
So my thought here is, with as I just kind of feel in here, because I didn't really get to try this one on, I don't think, but what is this mechanism that like holds things tighter? It's not even adjustable in here.
No, it's not.
I don't know what it is that holds onto them really in here, but this definitely feels snug, like it probably doesn't go anywhere. I am still skeptical of strapless packs. I come from a slightly older era of paintball, and I may never use a strapless pack. I don't know, but I can't say I would completely distrust this. What's interesting, and I've always found it interesting about these Bunker King and Virtue packs, is this, how it's just a little bit of a squeeze up top. Nothing to help eject the pod out at you. I kind of hate that. I'm not going to lie. Especially for one that costs $75, $74.95 listed. For me, at most I'd pay $60.
So the issue with having something that ejects it out is that since there's no strap, there's nothing to stop it from ejecting straight out of the pack.
Sure.
And so you can't really have that ejecting mechanism. And I have had strapped packs before, something like the eject, that we're actually the 0G, we're getting to it shortly, but it is nice having that eject feature, but at the same time, personally, I like the feel and the look and the mechanism of how the strapless look and work.
Okay.
And like I said, they are very snug. I'm not sure how it works either.
Do you ever struggle to pull the pods out in game?
So the only times that I've struggled is when someone in my pit crew slides them up way too far, and and it's pretty much inset into the pack, and I'm trying to get a hold.
I would never.
I'm not. It's not you. It's it's other people that have pit for us. So people are always going quick, and sometimes they get shoved up too far. Mm-hmm. Personally, I actually find it where a lot of people tell me, "Hey, your pod's about to fall out," because my pod will only be right about here, and that's how I like them. And even with them being that far down, I have yet to have one fall out.
Cool.
So the technology works.
The technology does work. So final impression, worth $74.95?
To me, yes. Just because it's very similar to the Supreme Pack, and I love my Supreme Pack.
Fair. And as far as the construction, is it falling apart as you've had it now?
So I've had mine since the beginning of the season. So I think I've played a total of 6 or 7 events with it. Mm-hmm. Just being D4 and D5, playing both, playing a lot more events. The only thing that I've had is that this rubber piece here, same thing with you and your glide pack, is starting to pull off, and it leaves it with a very thin piece of Velcro to actually strap on. So this piece here, it's just pulling up, and sometimes it can get a little hard to pull it off.
Gotcha. But not the end of the world.
Yeah, playing with it, not a big thing. It's not a huge thing that just like I needed a new pack because of this.
Okay. Well, do you want to introduce our next pack?
Yeah, so our next pack is going to be the Die Assault pack. This is our first and only die pack on this list. This pack comes in at $79.95, which is it's kind of a slight jump from the last 2 packs that we've gone over.
Yep. It's a jump in $5 from both Virtue packs.
Correct. So I've never worn one of these. I've never worn die packs in general. So picking it up and putting it on for the first time, it felt very light, but at the same time, I'm not entirely impressed with the features and the comfort and quality of it. It feels kind of cheap for being just under $80 compared to some of the other packs that we have coming up. This is definitely at the bottom of the line for them, for me personally. I know that there is a lot of people that like them. They've been around for a while.
Oh, they swear by them. I have a teammate that does that.
Yeah, and that they are in love with them. But personally, me, I would probably never use one. They seem just cheap for being how expensive they are.
Sure.
What's your thoughts, Doug?
So I have a buddy, Rob. What's up, Rob? Who plays for Ohio State. Played with him for a while. He's still in there because he's getting his PhD. But I have always seen him only use this pack. He seems to love it. He doesn't really like to play with anything else. And Rob, he's been playing X-Ball since '03. He's not a little boy. I think he might have had this thing since '03. It looks about that old. So, I mean, at least to the way it was constructed whenever he got it, I can speak to the fact that it might last. I don't know anymore because I agree with Keegan. This does not feel like any kind of... Because even just looking at the seams and kind of how things are sewn here, like I can see this...
Thin material.
Thin material. It's very canvassy, kind of baggy. I can see this pulling apart real easily. And like just from having seen him run around with it on, and like it seems like it bounces and slaps a lot. I just put this on before we filmed this segment, and it's really light. I will say that to its credit. It is extremely lightweight, but that's probably the trade-off with how low quality the materials feel. So it's lightweight, and it did get pretty snug to me with its strappings here, but these are so thin, and I've seen die packs before where this thin webbing stuff, you can see through it. It gets torn up pretty easily, especially if you're somebody who does dive a lot like myself or Keegan. It's a roll of the dice on how long that'll last you, depending on how abusive you are to your gear. Is it worth $80? I say no way.
I agree with that.
I'd say 50, 55.
I completely agree with that, just because of how it feels. Now, looks can be deceiving, but at the same time, just picking it up, feeling it, it does feel on the cheaper end of things. So it's not what I would put my $80 towards.
Final comment for me, I would not buy it, but also at the same time, when I reached back, just so you guys know, when I reached back to try to feel, to grab a pod, this was weirdly kind of hard to find and like make sense of it in my hand, whereas with a lot of these other ones, it's a pretty big square something to grab onto. I'm not a fan of this arrowhead, spearhead kind of thing. So next up, we're going to go to the HK0G 2.0 strapless pack. This is our second strapless pack on this list. Alright, so next up is the HK Army 0G 2.0 pack. So my experience with these is that I've seen them get destroyed really quickly. I have not ever really known HK's stuff to have longevity on its side. For the sake of the brand, I hope they can fix that, but as far as wearing one of these and putting it on, I actually had to borrow a teammate's pod pack for a little bit in Kentucky because somebody decided to steal my stuff, which was super cool for the MSXL. But when I put it on, I was actually really surprised. This is one of the ones where I was saying I give it credit over even how much I love the Glide. This thing, I mean, it hugs really good. It stays on. It does not go anywhere. Like, I will give them credit for their Velcro and their stretchiness of these guys. This really... It holds on to you. It won't let go. For a skinnier player too, I believe Keegan has experience wearing these. I will also comment, this back pad, pretty nice. Yeah, it's got nice back support.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that's unique about this pack. I actually wore one. I wore the original one, and there are a couple changes from the original to the 2.0. The first and probably the most obvious right off the bat is the kind of side slots are kind of a reinforced, and they're actually a really nice material that's not going to be ripping on you. And another thing is I'm pretty sure that they did go through a little bit of a redesign to make this pack so that it was going to last longer and withstand longer. They did recently drop though, and recently came out, so there's no one that can really prove, okay, it's going to last much longer.
We're going to have to wait a while to find that out.
Yeah, so we're going to have to give it some time for that. But I will give them credit. It does look like they took some precautions, like with the side slots and stuff like that, where they reinforced them. The other thing is the outer straps are actually a kind of weird design where it's not just a material that's embroidered on or anything like that. It actually stretches out from underneath the back pad.
So it's actually like grabbing you from all the way behind yourself.
Correct, and you can see it embroidered underneath there. Another unique thing, the back pad actually slides up like that. And so that, if I can get it, that there is actually the other straps, and you have one over here too.
And obviously they have the ability to take the individual pod holders out if you want.
Yeah.
You can tighten them, which means you can tighten the grip on your pods. So you can essentially determine, do I want my pods to come out really easily when I want to grab one? Or do I want more security when I'm running and diving? That's up to the player. That is a nice thing that they leave you the option to kind of choose for yourself. And plus, over time, say if you like it how it comes stock out of the box, over time things are going to stretch, right? Materials are going to pull, you can tighten it, and then it's like having a whole new lease on life with your pack. So I'll give them credit for that.
That was the other thing that I was going to say, is that you can adjust it, which is nice. And I believe that it's the only pack out there that actually does that.
I could have sworn there was a Bunker Kings one, like at some point back in the day that had that as well. But
maybe.
I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. That's on the market right now. There is not. So overall, this pack, it is pretty nice, but it comes in at $89.95. So it's kind of a price jump. So you're getting into the more expensive packs right now. Personally, I never had a problem with them falling out, but it is a pretty heavy, bulky pack.
That's true.
But after the redesign, I'd like to see how it's going to hold up, to see if it's really worth the $90 that it is.
I was going to say, my final call, I would pay no more than $75 for that.
Yeah. So overall, decent, but not my pick.
Not my pick.
All right, so next up we have the Bunker Kings Fly Pack. This pack is Bunker Kings' newest pack. They actually just recently released it. And it's basically an upgraded version of their Bunker Kings Supreme pack that is loved by many people. The only really change that you can see is that the actual pod slots are much smaller. I believe that the reason that they did this was because, honestly, I think that they realized that their strapless technology worked well and that they could make it smaller, lighter, and more minimalistic. Other than that, everything is pretty much the same. They did change up the strap a bit. So like I was talking about with the Virtue Breakout pack, where that big rubber piece is going to come off, they did definitely reinforce this front strap here, so you're not going to have a problem with it.
Double stitched or something.
They definitely reinforced it, and it's a lot bigger of a material that's going to hold a lot better, and you're not going to have problems with it peeling up.
Right.
So overall, I really like this pack. Honestly, if I was going to go to another pack, I would probably end up going with this one. You also have, in this same exact pack, you have the infamous Pro DNA pack, which is actually the same exact pack, just with Infamous's logo and a bit different of a design on it. So this pack comes in at $90 flat, and personally, I'm a big fan of it.
So I tried this on earlier. Even just looking at it first, how compact this thing is. Like Snake Player's dream right here, honestly. No getting clipped on anything stupid with this thing. That's, I mean, honestly, credit to Bunker Kings on this.
Yeah.
Construction really does feel nice. The padding is really, like that to me.
I love that
support.
padding.
That is definitely kind of a game changer. When I put this thing on earlier, it got snug. I think this is weird though, like the way this grabs to come on. Like, it's cool. It looks, sorry, I'll show you guys. It's cool. It looks neat, but like, it kind of loses some functionality for me. And like, got this skinny little thing here to grab onto and try to rip my whole pack off. I don't know about all that. It's just, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know about all that, but the The construction feels very good.
It does.
I love how compact it is. And even just looking at it like vertically, like this is not.
It's very small, and you have a lot less that you have the chance of getting clipped on.
Yep. So I really appreciate the effort they put into that.
Yeah, and then also the side slots they have like a double stitch area towards the bottom, so they're very easy to separate.
Honestly, this doesn't even feel like it really stretches all that much. Like your pod is just in there, like it's stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hats off to Bunker Kings on this. Honestly, they did a great job with the fly.
Yeah. So final thoughts.
Final thoughts. If I were gonna go strapless, this might be the one.
Yeah. So
this might be the one.
For me, personally, this is probably one of the few packs that I would consider going to over my Supreme pack. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, just smaller. The cushion is great, and it has a lot of back support, which is nice. And for $90, this is the first pack that I would say is probably worth that $90.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the others that I wouldn't necessarily want to pay that much.
All right, guys. HK Army Mag Tech pack. This rings in at, let me see, we got
$94.95.
$94.95. This sucker has some weight to it.
Yeah.
2.5 pounds. We just weighed it.
2.5 pounds compared to something like the Fly pack, which was roughly a pound and a half.
So, what is it? What is the Mag Tech pack? What is the draw to it? So first of all, let's look at it. It's an HK pack, right?
Yeah.
So we talked earlier about the questionable quality of HK. I don't think either of these packs have really been out long enough for us to fairly say. So we'll wait on talking about the quality of their recent construction. We'll give them a chance. But
the one thing that I would like to say real quick is that compared to the zero-G harness and stuff like that, the construction of them does look different, and like it's not going to fall apart quite as easily. It looks like they did a redesign for this specific pack.
Rugged.
Yeah.
That's, as I hold this and feel it and touch all the stitching, this is rugged. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of some of the stitching and stuff on the Glide and some of these lower level packs, which is good because they are durable. I beat the absolute hell out of mine. So I will say though, the pad on this one does not feel as protruding, supportive as some others. So kind of a question mark on that one. But let's get to the main meat and potatoes of it, the actual magnet. There are 2 magnets that hold your stuff together here. Okay? That, I think, is what contributes to the weight. I think that is what makes it so heavy. There is metal in your pod pack. Now, from what content I've seen, I've been watching, if anybody who knows me, I'm a Houston Heat fan through and through, so they've been using this pack. I've been watching them, any content that's been out with them playing since this came out. I haven't seen them lose a pod or anything like that. It seems to hold. Somebody did a weight test, right? Somebody did it like a...
I believe that it was like 60 pounds of force like coming down this way. Yep. Honestly, I don't really believe it. Like, yeah, it's been proven, but at the same time, it just...
I had to tug pretty hard. I had to tug pretty damn hard on that to get it to come off. Now, my thought is, say you get shot in the pack on your way off the field and it gets kind of gunked up here. How is that layer of gunk and crap? Is that going to mess with how well the magnets stick? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
don't think anyone's tested that yet.
Could be a video.
Yeah,
but let us know in the comments if you want to see a video on how we can get these magnets not to stick. Okay, but I don't hate it. I really don't. As far as higher end packs go, I think I would consider this, honestly. I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, so personally, I noticed it's got the same straps as the HK0G, kind of the side straps. They just say MagTech instead of 0G on them.
You mean the tabs?
Yeah, the tabs.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not huge on strapped packs. Personally, though, this one, it appeals to me more for the fact that my big problem with them is the Velcro eventually goes out and it gets torn up and it's hard to find and stuff like that. But the theory behind this is that the magnets don't wear out.
Yeah. The magnets don't lose their stick.
Yeah, they don't lose their stick. So I could see myself using this more than I would, say, the Virtue Elite pack or the Eject pack. But at the same time, the drawback with a lot of HK's packs is the fact that their padding in the back, I wouldn't consider a padding. it's a very hard material that doesn't really support your back. This is, I believe, the same padding or very similar padding to my original 0G, and it didn't feel the best on my back. And once I went over to the Bunker Kings one, I was amazed with the padding that had compared to it. Honestly, is it worth the $95?
It probably was expensive for them to make, considering the material, so I can understand why it's priced there just from a standpoint of them recovering their costs. But
I agree with that. But
I want to see it be around for a little longer. And just to, as a note, our older players might be able to drop some comments about this, but this is actually not the first pack out there where they tried to use a magnet. I cannot remember the name or model of the first one that attempted this, but this is not brand new technology. It's just revamped. It's been brought to a new light. But
yeah, see, that was something that I did not know.
I
thought it was the first pack. But overall, I think that a lot of it should have been better made. Like, they should have improved the padding on the back, given that it is the most expensive pack readily available right now.
Well, second to probably to Carbon.
Carbon, yeah. Unfortunately, we cannot get Carbon in the shop. They don't do anything with dealers, although I would love to. So Carbon, reach out to us, because we'd love to have you here in the shop. And so that we are able to get it's the highest end, or not highest end, but highest price point pack, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I could see how you would like it, though, being someone that likes strapped packs.
If you told me you cannot have a Velcro strapped pack, it's either this or a strapless pack, I would probably go for this first, just because I like the feeling of like reaching back, pull the tab down, dump pod, and go back to it. So I'm very used to that. I'm very partial to having my pods be secure. I don't completely distrust it, but like I said, I want to see it be on the market for a little longer before I spend $90, $95 to get one and try it for myself.
I completely agree.
Would you say we put that guy back and talk about final picks?
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, time for Punishers picks. We're gonna decide what we want.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors. Loser goes first. Go on, shoot.
I'm saying that we one by one eliminate a pack till.
All right.
Because we know each other's picks.
That's true.
So we one by one eliminate a pick.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
All right.
Start with this guy. Eliminated or still on the board?
Well, just pick one and eliminate it.
Pick one and eliminate it immediately?
Pick one, then I'll pick one.
Yeah? Okay. Out of what's all left...
That was going to be my next one.
Yeah.
For the price point, the Glide Pack's better.
Yeah. Joel, I'm sorry, we will clean this up.
Yeah.
Out of what's here, let's put these more in the shot for everybody.
The banner.
Out of these two that are left, we have the HK MagTech and the Bunker Kings Fly.
Which one's yours?
I'm sticking with my straps.
Pretty sure you guys knew it.
Dude, I'm too partial to it. I like the straps. I like that security. I need my security blanket.
Yeah. So other than that, let's get these sticky notes out of the way. Our pricing. We can't know everything, guys.
Yeah. We're not wizards here.
You guys saw the secret behind. So why did you choose the MagTech over your beloved Glide Pack?
I just can't get myself over that hump just yet of strapless packs. Because I've had it happen where, say if I've got a pod in one of the tabs here, and it could even be top up too. I'll run, I'll dive, I'll start crawling, and poof, whole thing busts open. And I'm like, well, there goes that. For me, I see that happening too much with an open pack. And like from coaching OSU, like I see those kids dump pods all the time. So I personally would rather keep the paint on my back and put balls on someone's face.
Yeah, so I chose the Fly Pack. It's very minimal, and we did weigh it. It's light for a pack. I mean, it's a pound lighter than the MagTech harness, and it's very minimal. I really like it. It's got great padding, great support. I don't come off the field saying my back's hurting. like Doug. Well, unless I'm carrying people, but
Throwback to Kentucky.
That's what I was hinting at. But overall, the Fly Pack is my personal favorite. It's just an updated version of the Bunker King Supreme Pack. And personally, I think I might pick myself up one of these before our Cincinnati event or before World Cup this year. Possibly the infamous Pro DNA edition. I just got some concerns with the coloring of it. Let me grab one of them real quick.
Let's see that.
We got it right here. So this is the newest pack. It just recently dropped from Infamous. It is the Pro DNA. As you can see, very similar to the Bunker Kings pack. Only thing that concerns me is the yellow color of the rubber there.
I think our ref would probably say something too. Because
Yeah,
one of our,
he's got it there too. So.
One of our guys at the last event, he had Gorilla Grip gloves on. It has a yellow there. The ref actually came to the net and told us, like, I'll let it go for this match, but your player needs to get new gloves before the rest of the day goes on. So that's kind of a concern. Honestly, why would they do that? Like, they know the rules of the game.
I'm just as confused as you are. I'm going to try to message some people and see why it was done and if they have any concerns or if they cleared it by anyone.
Or if they have an alternative. That's what I want to see. If they would do this in white, like just have
white
this be gray and white.
the green like their Pro DNA pants. Which,
like the darker green that's not...
I'm kind of confused as to why they didn't match that green to their pants that they came out with recently as well.
But regardless, for Punishers picks today, my choice, HK MagTech.
My choice, the Bunker Kings Fly Pack. And so yeah, that is our picks. I know that if Joel were here to pick a pack, he
uses the strapless with the Bunker Kings.
Yeah, so he's right there with me with the Bunker Kings Supreme Pack. So my solid guess, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that he would pick the Fly Pack as well because it is an updated version.
Probably.
Well,
guys, if you like today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. Drop us a comment, please. Let us know if we missed anything. Let us know what pack you would want to see. And make sure that you are following us on all social media outlets, and you will get more content.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.